My name is Clarissa Hogue-Dolinski, and I am in my final semester of my Master's of Data Analytics, and today we'll be going over what my final project is for this class. For Part 1, Data Visualization Graphs, I chose to depict the strength of relationship by frequency of interaction. I think that any relationship gains strength that way. We strengthen relationships through talking, spending time together, or any other forms of relationship building. My rows are how often that person and I, or that person and another, interact on a weekly basis. Those where the height is 0 or older are older relationships that may only interact once or twice a month, if at all. The graph shows relationship length in terms of years, the longest being my brother. I've known my brother since he was born, so I talk to him maybe once or twice a week. Here we can see where my wife and her sister are involved, and they talk pretty much multiple times a day. But we also have the relationship between my wife and myself and my son, as well as other various friends and family members. I found the information online while trying to find ways to create a graph that would depict the information in a fairly easy to view format. Part 2, exploring a large data set with a tableau, I chose looking at FBI codes and FBI works. Reviewing the cases and various reasons for arrests, we are able to get a feel for how the FBI works and how hard they work for our safety. I believe that we can see trends from this data set. When we delve deeper into the data set and pull out various faucets, we are going to see the trends of crime and crime fighting in the U.S. The time frame we are looking at is between 2001 and 2015. Here we are shown the amount of specific crimes we can see where the worst issues and concerns for the FBI are. It looks that we have more theft and assault type crimes that the FBI are involved in. If we take a closer look, we can see that they are also involved in criminal sexual assault, domestic violence, homicide, human trafficking, kidnapping. Narcotics is a big one as well. Who knew the FBI was involved in prostitution? We are able to see in this chart that the crimes have gone down over the years. The FBI and local law enforcement have made a major dent in crimes. Part 3, Data Visualization with a Tableau. When we look at data, regardless of what it shows, the audience needs to be able to see and feel the answers you're trying to give. Being aware of what we are trying to show or what the data shows is extremely crucial. The point is not to manipulate the data to make it tell the story you want it to, but rather simply show what it has to tell. Dynamic data presentations give the viewers a chance to see specific aspects. When the manager asks to see a certain aspect, is that truly all they really want? Or could it be that during the presentation, they change their mind and ask for a different point of view? When we apply filters to the program, we give ourselves the chance to provide the manager with a dynamic data set and presentation. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend all this time and effort doing what my manager asked me to do on one specific thing, and then at the last minute he comes in and says, now I need this, and the project's due tomorrow. Don't know about you, but that would make me a little upset, so applying these filters makes our job easier. Part 4. If we take data and put the information on a screen, Would the audience be more likely to be engaged? More probable is that their eyes would glaze over as we talk about each column and row, or even each cell. I've been through multiple meetings as well as lectures where the professor or presenter would just read word for word from a slide. How many of you have gone through that and you just wanted to bang your head against a wall? I know I have, and it's not fun. With data visualization and graphs and scatter plots as well as pie charts, we breathe new life into the black and white numbers and letters on a screen. We are able to take the static, mind-numbing information and turn it into something that makes sense to the audience, something that is visually pleasing and easy to understand. There will always be people in a meeting that can look at the data set and understand what is being displayed, and those who prefer it that way. A chart or graph is easier to understand for the majority of audiences. We, as data analysts, are tasked with telling a story. Sometimes that story is not able to be told by us using the words that the data tells us. It may have to speak for itself. There are times when the analyst may not be part of the meeting, or the presentation is being made in a different location than where the analyst is. The data, the presentation needs to be able to talk for itself, and the presenter needs to be able to read the information and do the presentation without much confusion or difficulty. Our job is more than just to make it look pretty or easy to read, but we must also include and provide those presenting our work with the help they can use that will allow the information to be usable for those who don't understand it from a simple view. I know while I'm doing my homework, my wife will be sitting on the couch next to me, and she'll just glance over at my laptop and would just look at it like a deer caught in the headlights. And I would have to sit here and explain it to her on her level because she doesn't understand it. And that is our role as data analysts, is to break it down for those who may not typically get it right away. So using graphs, we can break it down for them. Using the same graph or chart, we can make this interactive instead of static. We can allow the presenter to be able to manipulate and highlight specific aspects of the data for those around. We live in a world where we want to see movement. We want to see something from a different angle. Why not provide the data and the presentation in a format that allows manipulation? Does the final design of our presentation matter? Can we skirt around the design of color, of shape, or any other factors? It means that we have made a choice to display the information in a visually pleasing manner, or a way that stands out. When we look at data and visualization, we need to be aware of our audience. Some of them may be perfectly fine if we simply place a screenshot of numbers and dates and words. There is a vast majority, like my wife, for whom that becomes a mind-numbing blur or just meaningless drivel. As analysts, our jobs are to make the information stand out, to give our audience a chance to see what we see or see what's important without the drudgery or having to slog through the mire of numbers and letters. When we look at how best to design the presentation, it takes time, thought, and maybe even just a bit of planning. How many iterations did they go through to get these colors right, to say exactly what they wanted to? I'm not sure how you feel, but when I look at the blue and the orange, it makes me cringe, because that's not what we are used to seeing. Coca-Cola is not blue or orange. It's always been red, always has been red, and should remain red. When the visualization becomes painful to look at, we have missed the mark. And we have missed the eye-catching, attention-grabbing factor. The colors drawing the audience gives them cause to look away and miss what we are trying to say. Logos share that same factor. Don't make the contrast painful to look at. This image shows two logos with the colors of the other, but it still makes us think something is wrong. Looking at first glance, we see them and thinks that it's the other, But is that what marketing and analysts should be aiming at? No, we need to make sure that when we choose our visualization, people immediately are able to associate it with the data. Maybe not the details, but surely they wouldn't think pie when faced with a bar graph. This last piece is taken from a TV show I like to watch, How I Met Your Mother, and it's a pie chart of my favorite bars and a bar chart of my favorite pies. We are tasked with a delicate balance, and thus we have learned how to walk that line and make those around us understand just a little bit more of what we do. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.